I'm your host, Eric Crow Draven. It's official. Welcome to the Cipher. Welcome. I've been expecting you. I have. To whom it may concern, they say life is about choices. When you want better, you put yourself in a position to do better. You see, I come from a place where those who look like me don't often make it past their 18th birthday alive or without a jail record. Maybe I shouldn't be writing this, but music, the streets, and sports, we look as a way out of our poverty. Dysfunctional families, failing public education system with uninspired teachers and invisible role models. Experience builds character. It is the windows to my past that reminds me of who I was and where I'm from compared to who I am, what I've accomplished.
Let's take it to the streets. Take it to the streets.
So my first question to you is, what is poetry?
Poetry is the art of soulful expression, I guess, through words or through spoken word.
What is poetry to me? People ask me that, and when I answer them, I always say a simple thing. Poetry is a lifeline. I'm not saying that to be cliche, but literally, poetry saved my life. And I mean that with every fiber of my being. So when you ask me that question, what is poetry? It's so much more than words. Even when I'm performing, it's in my body language. It's like my words just take over me. It's in my spirit and my soul. So poetry is a lifeline to me.
All right. If you had to pick, like, what is your favorite style of poetry or your favorite kind of poetry?
I guess they would call it dark poetry, but I like poetry that's emotional or poetry that connects to emotion. But the kind of poetry I write a range of poetry, but I guess I really like kind of dark gothic poetry.
Of course, my favorite topic is uplifting the people via my spirituality, the ancient African spirituality, the ancient cultural spirituality. But I'm diverse. I can speak on any type of topic. So I wouldn't just stick with one class of poetry that I like, but of course I do like the slam poetry too. It gives a different spirit to the whole poetry game, so it's real interesting. But for me personally, my favorite style of poetry is uplifting the people through the cultural poems, through the spiritual poems, just uplifting the people from my words, because words are life. So that's my favorite style of poetry.
Is there a difference between hip-hop and poetry?
Definitely. I would say that the difference is hip-hop kind of has rules, and those rules kind of confine you to stay inside of those lines, I guess. And poetry consists of a lot more than hip-hop does. In terms of style and in terms of the rules and the things you can do inside of poetry, is a lot different than hip-hop.
Yes.
What is it?
It's two different cultures. Like brother and sister is how I would define it. Hip-hop has a rhythm to it, and it has just a different vibe to it. People can say, well, poetry is just slowed down, hip-hop, nah. They have two different spirits. Poetry is in a class of its own. Every poet isn't a rapper. Every rapper isn't a poet. But you have some that have both spirits, but I wouldn't say they are the same. It's brother and sister. That's the best way I would define it.
If you are to send a message, if you was to send a message to, let's just say people, or should I say the upcoming generation of poets, what would be your message to them?
Life is about perception, and whatever it is that you're perceiving, always be clear on who's controlling those perceptions, and always be clear on what the source of your influences are. Always ask questions and always strive to learn the things behind what you're seeing, because there's always more to what you're seeing than what it is. And it's always important not to take things at face value, because the people that control history and the people that control your environment, and the people that control your perception, their aim is to
I'm gonna tell you a
mislead
couple words, and you say the first word that comes to mind. All right?
Okay.
Sex.
Tantalizing.
Education.
Everything.
Poverty.
Where I came from.
Youth.
The world.
You.
Nothing but everything.
I'm shaking my head because
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah.
That's truthfully.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want me to explain it, I can, but I'm
Please.
nothing, but I'm everything. First off, it's an honor, Pro, just of you giving me this opportunity to be on the documentary. That's why I say I'm nothing but everything, because truthfully, the blessings that are coming, I'm so unworthy of. I ask myself sometimes, who am I to be in this position? So that's why I say I'm nothing, but yet I'm everything, because so many people depend on our words. So many people cling to our words. One quick thing, we was at Mike Geffner's open mic, and I did a poem called Ordinary, and it mentioned Marines and veterans in the poem. After that, Vietnam veteran came to me and he broke down in my arms crying, saying how thankful he was of just that poem. And I asked him, I said, who am I? I'm not worthy to experience such blessings, but yet people see something in us. So like I said, I'm nothing, but I'm everything. And that's how I would define myself.
I love it. I love it. Thank you for your time, brother.
Thank you, thank you.
Welcome to the Cipher.
Lights, please. I know you want to teach me. Peel the covers back so you can reach me. But how I see it, it's not printed on a page. Cause I've been getting screwed since my coming of age. And by the way, I've always known my daddy's name, but he was sort of missing. You know, bright lights on a dark stage, caught up in the game. So baby, when I say lights, please, I know that I'm avoiding, but I think you're kind of fly. And I just want to join you. I know it's all momentary. I doubt that you could love me, but if I didn't say lights, please, then you would see the worst of me. Pockets of insecurity smother me. I'm holding on just so you can touch me. So baby, lights, please.
Today I cry because I watched a homeless man die right before my eyes, and I don't recall the last time I heard a grown man cry daddy, but he cried daddy, daddy, they're killing me, as he laid there on the streets, right there in his living room, and he died. And too bad Officer Ramos wasn't under oath, because he told the truth when he said these two fists are gonna kill you. I don't know what pushes a mother of four to put a bullet through each of her children's head. And before she pops one in her own skull, she writes a goodbye letter to whom it may concern. We were never really alive anyway, just the living dead. And even now as we speak, there are politicians ready to cast a vote to decide if it's your constitutional right to assassinate someone like the Pope. This is America. You can hate even men who have the audacity to hope, oh, it's real, and today I cry.
My expression drips from pen tips. Impresses its impression on pages. I stand on these stages, jogging my memory in place, placing me in shape to build up my character. You see, I am an amateur, divided into a professional, pressing the D-pad up, hoping it synchronizes in the direction I'm heading in. I am slept on without sedatives, relating relative topics once irrelevant, relatively perfecting this lifestyle without clothing. I'm folding, iron me out without molting or melting these wrinkles used to make dents in your story's sequels. I am history repeating. I've built verbal pyramids and hieroglyph languages encrypted within mental images for man to translate later. Spitting fire from the dragon's womb, my birth creation. I am innovation. I'm the jet-setting jet-setter, speaking speeds of jetpacks. I'm the unforeseen future traveling too fast for jet lag. I'm the everyday issues. I am misused, beaten, and wounded. I'm the truth, twisted and contorted into lies twice removed. I am the present, but don't unwrap me. I am protection, do not strap me. I am words of the helping, words of the healthy. Check my vitals so that you can tell me that I am alive, with my heart beating. Because the drums of my pulse raise the bumps of these geese that you feel under your sleeves. I am oxygen, polluted enough to rip holes in ozone layers, yet healthy enough for you to inhale, so breathe me. I am seeking, without skipping radio stations. I am earthquakes in New York, simply vibration. I'm the nation's human race, struggling for first place. I am will, so I cannot disgrace. I am overkill, do not live under me. I am the tail of the supporting undergarment, the brow that keeps others wondering. Mystery. Mystery because the missus is preoccupied. I am tied, used on suits to accessorize fashion. I am passion, sweeter than fruits grown from trees. I am roots deeper than ocean seas. I am proof, without bullets. See, the truth is I am everything. I'm the blood, sweat, and tears of your dreams. I'm your fears and your screams. I'm your stories untold. I'm your life as it unfolds. I'm the distraction that keeps you on tangents when you lose focus. And with my crowd as the congregation, I sit in the pulpit. I'm the bibliography of human life, referenced solely as poetry.
The complexities of life are affecting me as I struggle to juggle the shit life expects of me. Constantly dodging jabs of failure and insecurity, boxing with humiliation, bobbing and weaving with dignity. But I've gotten so tired of blocking, so tired of trying to solve it that I started taking shots to the face like an alcoholic, and now I bleed. I bleed out my emotions because life stifles my speech. So I put this pen to paper and bleed out the me you don't see. Cacophonous concepts kept closed-minded, lyrically lunging for longevity, but I can't seem to find it. On my grind to decline the future, I'm a sign, redefine stereotypes, proven wrong and redesign mine. See, behind these piercing eyes rests a mind lyrically upwards of Einstein, yet confined by racism and misery scars, and defined as best confined behind steel bars. I stare at these project walls, praying for deliverance, because God can make a million ways out of no ways, I'm convinced. Sounds of pen and paper till it sounds like an epiphany. Mozart played pianos where wordplay makes my symphonies. Mixing and matching words and verbs and my objective. Stay connected to the little bit of sanity I got in perspective. Adjectives and pronouns vicariously carrying my frowns to properly pronounce my lyrical qualities. Your mind don't need surround sound or listen to my thoughts with your soul or something. Because if you listen with just your ears, then you're listening for nothing. Because I'm deeper than just surface. I'm speaking with a purpose. Because a lyrical prose without a meaning is worthless. Why do I rhyme? Because I'm sick of all the phonies, and the world deserves actual, natural, practical, keeping real lyricists. Ones who've conquered the iceberg, not just seen the tips of it. We out here taking shots at reality while they're afraid to sip on it. Different, thinkers who tested it. Optimists and pessimists, and either love, pain, or strife. We teach lessons of life that we've invested in. Interested in going far, not entangled in the bullshit and lies that the industry implies. Because the things that we spit, the industry can't buy. Do what you do, don't let these phonies move what you spit. We move words, not bricks, don't serve bullshit. Guess that makes us weird, doesn't it? Whatever your ideologies, you stay spitting true to it. I preach power to anyone who listens to it. It's a hard job, but somebody gotta do it. So in this game called life that I seem to keep losing, I guess you could say I write just to get myself through it.
An image that is indecisive, an extremist, hot or cold. Lukewarm cannot define this image. Scrambling for answers, always finding yourself at point A. Paying close attention to attributes of this image's attitude, assumptions are never accurate. Bystanders become boggled at its biology. Cynical commentators converse, diagnose a different kind of woman, an emancipated essence, future forever fragrant, growing grains of greatness. History, well, history heals her hair. Implementing intelligence, justice justified, keep keen. Lovers' lullabies lies upon loose lips. Many men manage to meet matrimony. Nubians need nature's nurture, oxygen, operating only on opposites. Promises praying patiently, praising peace. Queens question quality, recession release. Real romance reigns religiously. Soul's sanctuary savors sunlight, so smile. Teeth, they tend to tenderness, unite understanding. Vibrant voices verify views we worship while watching, while waiting. We begin as X and X chromosomes, so you yearn yesterday's youthfulness. Zealous, zestful, zoneless. Zodiacs fail to capture her zen. Yes, this image, her beauty, her essence, her nature, her youth. She is woman. She is you. She is sketches of atoms.
Zestfully zigzagging to my zygote zenith. You yield yesterday's yearns of X-raying wise what-ifs and what-nots, vowing virginity, virtuously uncovering and unmasking my undercover uniqueness, ultimately trusting, tediously taking time to soothe my silly sentiments, sedate my salacious soul, and subdue my schizophrenic satire. Real romance remedies my raunchiness, rectifying, reevaluating, and releasing my qualms. Quote this, you're the quintessence of queen. Perfection personified, got me permanently omitting others. Original orchid, I will orbit your orifices, never neglecting my Nubian's needs, nestling, nuzzling, and nibbling every nook. Most men mask emotion with masculinity. Me, I love to love you. long-lasting linkage, keeping kinship, kindling, kind-hearted, jovial. You make this journey enjoyable. I'm incapable of interjecting indecency into our home. Humble, harmonious, holding on to the gospel God gave us, gracious, forging forward, formalizing freedom, fortifying future emotional emptiness. You're my empress, every day it gets deeper. Doting decisions, downsizing demons, dissecting Deuteronomy, connecting consciously, cracking codes, blackness bolded, battling Babylon, building biblically, awakening ancestors adventurously. You're my ally, associate, advocate, adore, me more, a friend, amen. Woman was created from the riverman. She was not made from his head to top him, nor from his feet to be trampled on.
She was made from his side to be equal to
from
him.
under his arm to be protected by him.
From by his heart to be loved by him.
Yes, this image, her strength, her purity.
His patience, his loyalty.
A love extraordinary. She is the sun.
He is the moon.
She is true.
He is few.
She is not.
He is me.
She is sketches of Adam's rib.
God damn. I should get
Today, I come before you, a product of my past, outliving many of my failures and my elders. Let today be the testimony of persistence and faith. Let today prepare me for tomorrow.
Here's perfect. So, we wear many different hats in our lives. What hat would you say that you wear has been the most meaningful and the most rewarding thus far?
I believe that the most meaningful role that I've played in society would definitely be, I like to call myself a leader. So I would say that the role I played is a role of leadership and encouraging youth and people of all types actually to be themselves and to really find out who they are, identify with who it is that they want to be, and then how they can work to be that person and be the best person they can be.
Okay. With that being said, they say that the absence or presence of our fathers often have a great impact on our journey. So with that being said, I'm gonna flip it. What impact did the absence or presence of your father have on your journey thus far?
Yeah, so I actually kind of have the best of both worlds in that sense. My dad was kind of in and out of my life a lot, so having his presence was someone who I could learn a lot about protection and safety from and what it means. I learned a lot about the art of talking to people as well from him. So by watching him and the way his personality works, I learned some positive traits from him, and then when he wasn't there, I knew that I didn't want anyone else to feel that void. So that inspired me to speak about it so that people will know that they're not alone in that struggle, but also to know that they can keep going forward and push their lives forward and do something with it.
You know, with that being said, people are always asking questions about happy, you know, and so for me, it makes me wonder, what does happy look like, taste like, and feel like? So I ask you that question.
Okay, yeah, for sure. Happy to me is recognizing and appreciating everything you have in the moment that you're living right now. It's not about what you had, what you lost, or what you want to get, what you don't have. It's about recognizing and identifying with all the things that make you who you are right now and finding happiness and acceptance in that, because happiness isn't going to show up on your front doorstep one day and come knocking. If you can't recognize it now, you're not going to find it later on in life. And I really feel and live that idea. Now, what it smells like and what it feels like, to me, happiness, all the senses combined, it's being able to share those senses with other people. To me, that's the most. It's like being able to, you know, point somebody out and maybe give them a compliment, or point somebody out and be able to, like, you know, give them a hug when they look like they need it. It's just being able to share the positivity that you found in yourself and give it to the world, because not a lot of people are in that mind frame where they know what's going on and they can appreciate. So it's leading by example, I suppose. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. And taste like. What does happiness taste like?
Happiness tastes like.
Yes.
It tastes real sweet. It tastes too sweet. Like, I was in the car the other day, had the windows down, music playing, had a couple friends. One friend was driving, you know, to be driven is nice. And like just the fresh scent of summer, you know, the smell of green grass and just like it's very sweet. You just can't help but just you feel aroused almost. That everything it tastes sexy. That's what it tastes like.
Nice. I'm gonna be thinking about that one later.
Happiness tastes sexy.
Nice. Okay, so with that being said, wow, I'm really gonna be thinking about happiness later on. Okay, I digress. You know what? In our life, we meet a lot of different people. We go through a lot of different things. If you had an opportunity to delete somebody from your journey, yeah, who would it be? Who would you replace them with, and why?
I'm like against that. I wouldn't delete anybody because despite all the negative, situations or issues that I face, it all helps me to be an even more positive person. And knowing that, like growing up in a domestic violent home, I always appreciated it because it made me more motivated, more determined to help other people. And I don't think that if I was given a different situation or a different family or different friends or different mentors or lack of mentors, I don't think I'd be the person who I was today. I think I would honestly be less of myself. And I'm very, very thankful for the good and the bad. And I think that I've been lucky enough to get to a point to reach that self-actualization that unfortunately a lot of times, like with people's different lifestyles and whatnot, they're just trying to survive to the next moment. And I know what that's like too, but it's just listening to that little tiny voice that seems so small and is so quiet that says you can make it to the next moment. It's listening to that and then it's getting to the next moment. It's like, okay, looking back, like, okay, that might hurt a little bit, but I got through it. Let's do something bigger now. And I wouldn't be able to erase or delete or replace anything that has happened.
Nice.
I'm too thankful.
Nice. Now, with that being said, this is always an interesting question. What is the most expensive thing you have ever given away for free?
For free?
Yes.
Like, what do you mean for free? Like as a gift?
It can be a gift, whatever you equate that to be.
Okay, that's a good question then. Okay, I was thinking about the most expensive thing I've ever given for free. I know I'm gonna think about something else later, and I'm like, I wish I said that. But one thing that's on my mind right now, it was my boyfriend's birthday, and there was this one watch that I knew he wanted so bad, and I was in school at the time, so I was running those school bills up, I was in debt and whatnot, and it was like a $200 watch, and I was like, it's my boo though, I want to make him happy, so I got him the watch, but I didn't just give it to him. We went to the store, the same store that they sold it on the day of his birthday, and he was looking around, and I went and asked the person who was working there. I was like, hey, can you give this to him and act like you're giving it away for free? And so the person went and acted like, she's like, hey, I know your girlfriend was saying you really like this watch, we're actually giving it away for free, so here you go, happy birthday.
Wow.
And he was like, yo, you better hold this. The police are gonna come after us. And it was hilarious, and then we walked. I was like, "Babe, I got it for you." He's like, "Oh, okay." So it was a good moment. Yeah.
Nice, you're sweet and thoughtful. Okay, nice.
So it added a little something to it, didn't just buy something and give it to him, but add a little creativity to it.
Nice.
As well.
You presented it in a way where he not just received it, but he was willing to accept. Nice.
Yeah. Tried to do that.
You go ahead, girl. Wow. I want to know, when everything is said and done, how would you like to be remembered?
Ooh, good question. Point blank, I would like to be remembered as a good person. I have seen or felt, I have felt growing up a lot of bad things and have done a lot of bad things, not things I regret, but just mistakes that I just didn't know better at the time.
Okay.
And I'm just during those times I had been worried about what people thought about me and whatnot. And my goal in life is just to be remembered as a good person.
Nice.
Yeah, I want to be,
Oh,
I always tell people to be good, so yeah.
Yeah, it's easier said than done.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. I guess this question may not be too much for you to think about, but what has poetry done for you?
Poetry? Oh my gosh, poetry has cursed me. It has cursed me in the darkest hours of the night. It has made me late for work. It has made me late for school. It has made me not show up to the events. It has also allowed me to meet hundreds of thousands of people. It has given me, you know, the chance to travel. It's given me the chance to learn about other people's stories and to hear what other people are going through and to share a commonness between us as humanity. It has helped me to learn more about politics. Funny enough, it has helped me to learn how to be a better person, how to be a better friend, a better sister, a better daughter. It has helped me to be a better me. It has given me life. I think that's the point. Like, poetry has given me life. Without poetry, I don't think I could be standing here today. Without it.
I understand.
Yeah.
Totally understand. If you had the opportunity to speak to the younger generation coming up after you, what would your message be to them?
I would say your voice can change the world. And your voice doesn't have to mean literally your voice coming through your throat, but sharing and expressing yourself, finding out what it is that interests you a lot and what you love and what your passion is, and being able to share that with other people, that will help you to actually create a more positive and safe space for us all to live in. And if we could all just think positively, imagine if everyone in the world right now is thinking positive, how crazy would that be? We would be a much better place. And so, like, if we could create more people thinking constructively, then I think that could change the world.
Beautiful. That's beautiful right there. Now, you've traveled a lot, right?
Yeah.
What are some of the places that you've been?
Yeah, I've been to Europe, went to England, France, Italy. Last summer, I actually got to spend the summer in Kenya, Africa.
Nice.
I've traveled all east coast of the States, went out west to California for a little bit, all across Canada. And I'm talking Northwest Territories. I've been dog sledding.
Wow.
I've been in like ice huts. Not igloos, but like actual like ice huts.
Okay.
Been from the west coast to the east coast of Canada. Yeah, that's about it. I'd like to go to like Asia sometime or India. That would be real nice.
I'm sure you're gonna do it.
Yeah.
Oh, you're traveling and you're performing and everything.
Yeah.
I'm
I would
sure.
love to.
What are your next plans?
My next plans are to create a chapbook. Right, I would like to actually publish my own little book of poetry.
Okay.
And kill it at nationals, at the National Poetry Slam this summer in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Nice.
Yeah.
So with that being said, I thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
My yesterdays has given me hope for today. I see you in the future. My last rites. I'ma do something y'all ain't never heard me do. It's Crow. What else would you expect, baby? In the blink of midnight. In the blink of midnight. Everything can change. In the blink of midnight. Just in that blink. In the blink of midnight. I woke up today. Mind on my money. I got bills to pay. I work too damn hard for it to stay the same. Lord knows there gotta be a better way. Don't wanna bet my freedom, they'll take it away. So I say, fight for what's yours, don't you run away. With every sunrise, there'll be rainy days. Don't build your house with straw, cause they'll get washed away. I've seen it all before.